Give me black man. Black man, you gotta die like a baller, black man. Black man, help my brother out. Come on, don't be like that, black man. Black man.
Oh, to be black in America. Love us, but they hate us. Think they want to marry us, or maybe just bury us. It's quite unclear. America's side piece with the fat derriere. It's hunting season, you can smell it in the air. So don't get caught up in the lights, my dear. Black folk, you shall always be wary. Being black in America ain't nothing more scary. Only black in the room, nothing more airy. Being black in America with a burden to carry. So much to talk about if there was only a series. Well, just our luck, hit the critical James theory. Hit the critical James theory, yeah. Just our luck, hit the critical James theory, yeah. Hit the critical James theory, yo. Just our luck, hit the critical James theory, yo.
Yeah.
Like, I forget what I said. Since it was a joke about me being half Irish, and I was just like, is there any other Irish people in the room? Mm-hmm. And, like, they got a little too excited for my liking. I saw one lady on the side, like, went like this. And
Oh,
like,
no.
We got to talk about that. It's not. I don't like to see white fists in the air.
The Irish are having a little moment right now because they're pro-Palestine.
Oh.
We're not recording it.
No. I will be sure. This is a hard, it is recording, but this will not be in there.
I don't care. But it's like it's a good thing, which is like they've been pro-Palestine. They're a pro-liberation country because they are oppressed, and so they're just like, oh, we get it.
Yeah.
We understand what this is.
It's just like black people. It's just like, yeah. What are you shocked that we're not we're pro? You shocked that we're pro Palestine?
Yeah.
It's like we've seen this play out.
I mean, Al Qaeda Jada. I'm from when Jada Kiss had an Al Qaeda mixtape.
Yo, how wild was it that like that just went? Like no one said a thing. He was just like, yeah, okay, Jada.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's that level of famous where it's like no one's, unless you have a big hit, no one's really checking. No one in the mainstream is really checking for Jada Kiss. So you could, to his own audience, he could pretty much do whatever he wants.
So it could be like what? Hamas, Rick Ross. Does that rhyme? Does that rhyme? It's the closest thing I can come. Hamas Ross? That's a reach. Oh shit, that's how we get started. I think this is episode 25 of Critical James Theory. I'm James Knight.
Quarter century mark.
That's right. This is a moment. This is a big moment. I'm gonna get the dirty shit out of the way. Patreon.com/Critical James Theory. Don't have a day job, so support it. Support the arts, baby. That's about it. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to properly introduce. I've been trying to work on my introductions. They've been a little rocky recently. So I wrote this one out, and there's no shame in my game. My guest today, he's the host of Black History Monthly. He was a writer for The Onion, a writer on Stephen Colbert Presents Tuning Out the News and Z-Way, and went uncredited as Barley on Netflix. I think you should leave. The guy that can make...
They did me dirty.
The guy that I know that can make the idea of a Haitian hurricane machine funny, Ron Metellus. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah. Thank you very much. That's still in my Google Drive. It's still on my Vimeo. I was like, dang, because not only did James and like a bunch of other like comedians get up at 7 a.m.
It was
like the crack of dawn. But then I also convinced the manager of a trampoline park to just let me use their hurricane simulator, and it. Like, he just looked out.
He did.
And the employees were just kind of like, oh, this is weird, but...
We're just going to walk around.
Right.
Like,
right.
Just to make sure we're not in the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
It was a good day. It was good, like, training for, like, what would become, the future. You know what I mean? It's like, it was good. It's a good training ground. American Express is a good training ground for everybody.
It was, yeah. It was. Not in comedy, but also in terms of like interpersonal skills. It's funny that you bring this up because I was at a show last night and my friend Iram was telling me about she's in an 11-person sketch group.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm just kind of like, all right, so do y'all have the same sensibility? Like, when one of your sketches bombs, like,
can you be honest?
Can you be honest about it? Like, do you feel like one person is kind of like dominating the room? And she was like, no, we're on our 4th show. Like, everything's going fine. Like, we have a good hive mind. I'm just like, that is awesome. That's the hardest thing. Yeah. I thought that was the hardest thing, which is just like making sure everyone felt like they were getting their just due, but at the same time understanding that certain people that are putting more into it do deserve to guide it a little more than the people who are doing it on a more like occasional basis.
Yeah, you gotta let that ego go, baby.
Oh, it's hard. It's difficult.
Like, I'd imagine it's only amplified in like professional rooms.
Yeah, but the hierarchy is so clear.
Yeah,
it becomes clear.
Yeah, it's like, I can end this if you don't.
Yes,
fall in line. It's like, yeah, you got it.
Get rid of you if you want. Like, not that anyone's been that bold, but it's like it's always present in the back of your mind, and just like, okay, you can fight for your ideas, and like you can if someone presents an idea that you don't like you're a higher up than you can try to like, oh, actually I don't think this works / could be offensive. You can fight, you could push back on that, but at the end of the day, it's not your thing.
Right.
So you're there to serve them and to predict what they want, not to tell them what you want.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because it's the exact opposite when you're just, in a room with your other friends and you got a show to put on the black box theater.
Yes.
You can push hard for your shit.
Yes.
Because it's your shit, but your shit don't matter here. Like, if it's not their shit.
No, we were impressed when we hired you. We were impressed with your shit. However, now that time is over.
Calm your shit.
That's how I feel calm. Calm that.
It's like, I'd imagine you'd have to be like, I mean, because yes, it's in a writer's room and it's fun and we're all comics, but like, it's a job.
It's a job. It's not. If you're lucky, it's 9 to 5, but it's it's a job. It's meetings, it's emails, and it's a lot of Slack. It's a lot of Slack. It's like looking away from Slack for 40 minutes, seeing notifications, and just like frantically just being like, oh, it's this at here. It's this at here. Is this at here? It's not me. Whew. My goodness, it's a lot of Slack.
I know everybody's glad to kind of be getting back to like work and shit.
Yeah, in the office.
Yeah.
I'm still remote.
Mm-hmm.
The room I'm in currently, I'm still remote. I visited the office. It's based in New York. I'm based in LA. Mm-hmm. And I visited the New York office for the first time last Monday. And I mean, it was fun. Like, there's a different kind of like chemistry that you have when there are people in a room. But I also, the A train made me late. You know what I mean? Like,
we all late.
I was late because the train made me late. Mm-hmm. You got to get ready. Like, those things. Yeah. Man, I've gotten really spoiled by remote work in terms of quality of life. Being able to just, kind of be on your couch, blur the background, be in bed, blur the background.
Can't do that shit. Can't do that shit anymore. Dang, man. But I don't know. How was like the picketing and shit? Like, how was that for you?
It was cool. I picketed a lot. Mm-hmm. My one friend, Julie Griner, she added up all the miles that I think it was something like 50 miles at the end of it. It might have been even more, but she was super diligent. I was like a once a week kind of.
You know, hey, I went one time just on some Future. Like, let me just put this energy out there because this is not. It's gonna affect me later. Not right now, but
you want to be like. Why the first thing I thought of was when Jerry Jones was in the segregation.
I'm just in the back.
It's just.
Oh no!
50 years from now. 50 years from now, it's like you in the picket picture.
Just like just one picture.
I'm on the right side of.
I was here. Yeah.
I'm on the right side of. That is funny. Yeah, I'm on the right side of history. Picketing was cool. I have a couple things that I think about picketing. I think on the one end, it was cool to meet people in the picket line because then you start to understand all the embarrassing things that have happened to you. Like, it's not just you as like a junior writer or someone who's trying to break in that like, oh, dang, that thing that I wrote that I was trying to write, it was for nothing. It was like a total waste of time, or like I gave a lot of free labor to this production company and nothing ever came of it. And then you start talking to people and you're just like, not only have people had the same experiences as you, but they've had much worse. Like the level of exploitation across the industry when there's so much free work being done with writing on spec, open writing assignments, adaptations. Yeah, I talked to someone who, him and his writing partner were adapting a book for 3 years. The production company lost the rights to adapt the book into a movie. And they were like, well...
3 years. Will they have a drink?
We're not doing it anymore. So that was really cathartic and like built solidarity between me and other writers. On the flip side of the spectrum, it's a big union. My bosses, people with the power to employ people, are in the rank and file union, which is not. It's a very, I think it's pretty unique set of circumstances. Yeah. Usually, you know, when I was at the Onion and I was on the bargaining committee for our CBA, which the Onion is a WGA East shop, but managers were not a part of the union because they can hire and fire.
Right.
Whereas managers are a part of this. They are a part of the Writers Guild, and there are just so many like not necessarily conflicting interests, but like it's such a wide umbrella, the guild, in terms of like late night writers. We have some reality writers, some feature show, like all of the different concerns and all of the different wants that people have and deserve. It's really complicated. And I will say, like, I don't know, people, when I talk to people about this, they're just like, you're reading into this too much. But like when I was on the picket line and you meet someone, they're always just like, were you working before the strike? Which I was, but it's like, why does that?
It's an odd question. Like,
why does that matter?
An issue.
Or like people's like, are you TV? Are you TV or film? It's like,
I'm trying to figure out what lines like.
Just like.
What gang you're in? Like, what set you playing?
Yo, what's that? yo.
You can't sit at this table. Like, well, why not?
Yo, you bang late night. Colbert Street Crips, cuz. Colbert Street Crips.
Yeah, yo, why does that sound kind of hard? Colbert Street Crips. That's dumb.
Hey, I put that on everything, cuz.
I love that. I just picture like just a bunch of like writer types just standing like real just.
It is. I mean, I am sensitive to status. I'm sensitive to class because this is how I grew up. Yeah. Just like being someone who's like not rich in wealthy spaces. Funny, we were just before the podcast. James came to get me, and then is like, there's this fancy like cocktail party happening. I know that heads were turning, but a head turned to be like, oh, who's this?
Who might this be? You don't expect these types at this hour. It's past 4:30.
I'm just hyper aware. There's the Chris Rock joke where he's like, I walk into the room looking for racism. I was like, wait, where is it? Like,
It's here somewhere.
it's here somewhere. It's like, so like I'm hyper aware of that. Where I've talked to other writers and they've just been like, that's just like small talk. They're just trying to be like, what kind of writing do you do? Like da 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 da. So there are different ways to interpret it. You never really know what's in someone's heart. So I don't want to cast aspersions, but it was interesting to kind of like, oh, it's just such a status, status-based industry.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's annoying to me.
Yeah, it is. I guess it's one of those is what it is things. It's like you win, you banging in this gang. So you whatever else comes with it. How long have you been in LA?
I moved Labor Day of 2022, so a little over a year now.
How you like it?
I like it now.
Yeah.
I didn't like.
It didn't start that way.
I was here last summer. I was at my mom's, and I was deciding if I wanted to live in New York or if I wanted to live in LA. And I was quite annoying to be around then because I would just be like, people would just be like, where do you live now?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I would be in New York for a month to try to get a sense of it. I'd be in LA for a month to try to get a sense of it. And I picked LA. And for a while I was like, excuse me, I'm far from home. The comedy scene is like a bit hit or miss, but now I'm there. I have a lot of friends in stand up. I've also like dedicated myself to stand up in a way that I haven't since like the pandemic. The weather is still great.
Yeah.
The weather.
Yeah.
Which makes a difference when you're seasonally cuckoo.
Yeah, man. This shit over here is fucking.
It's bleak over here.
It ain't cool.
So the weather is better.
Yeah.
And this is my first time having roommates in 4 years, and I'm so glad that I have roommates because when you're in LA, you can go days without talking to people, like meaningfully.
It's all just surface level.
Like,
just
oh yeah. Oh, the reservation was under. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, just a moment. Just a moment. It's a big reservation town.
yeah.
I'm a big reservation guy now.
I like that. I like a reservation.
I love a reservation, knowing that my table is ready for me when
Right
I'm
this way.
there. Right this way. Okay. It's crazy. Like there's sometimes when like this is what's always funny to me in interactions with in interactions at stores or like at the post office, but like when they're just like, please tell me you have a reservation. They're just like. When you can see there, it's just like, don't make me go into the system. It's going to be 25, 30 minutes.
It's gonna work.
It's never happened to you, James. We're so far afield at this point. But do you ever, I guess this is related to the move because like, I ended up shipping a lot of my, I shipped my car.
Mm-hmm.
I shipped a lot of, my clothes and boxes just because, I wanted to pack as light as I could. Mm-hmm. And, when you're shipping from East Coast to the West Coast, it gets really expensive. And it's just always interesting to me when I'm at the post office or if I'm at UPS and the guy is just like, oh, woof, this is going to be really expensive.
It's like it's not.
It's
what do you
not
care?
your. It's like
You care. Just do it.
Is it, do you hate packages? Like, I'm sorry to make you ship this 20-pound package. Like, what is happening? Oh, brother, you're shipping to California? Oh,
sure,
boy.
but it's like yes, sure.
Yes, I wrote it. I literally wrote it out. Like what? And I'm like, That's another. I'm just like talking about how paranoid I am about race, but I do wonder. I'm like, I wonder if he's that way with everyone, or if he just like doesn't think I'm good for it, or is like I have the money to ship this.
You know how much this is gonna cost, right?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I don't do the department store thing.
They go like, just so you know, just so you know. Just so you know, that's $60.
It's like, yeah, I looked it up before here. Like, I got it. There's an online calculator.
All right. Yes, I knew exactly what I was getting into. But yeah, I love my roommates.
Hell yeah.
I love I really like the comedy scene. I love my friends in the scene. I think the scene is very much like recovering from COVID in a way a lot of comedy scenes are. Everyone's kind of like has their different answers to it. For LA, being a warm weather city, there are a lot of outdoor comedy shows, and some of them are great. I personally love like a small room, laughs bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
People's attention are more focused on the stage rather than like what's happening all around them. There are things you could do to mitigate it. You could put like a little tarp up, but you know, it's not my favorite thing in the world to do outdoor comedy. It just isn't.
No, I didn't do outdoor comedy, but I went to probably for the wrong reasons. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was my roommate's cousin was having a class show, like a stand-up class show somewhere in Koreatown.
Okay.
And I was like, gotta go to see this. This is either going to be really somewhere in the. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. Or it's going to be awful. So either way, I'm down for the ride. It wasn't that bad, but it was. It was just like there was just so many things going on, and it was just. I was just watching everybody, just like this is terrible.
How far was the front row to the stage? The distance between.
Further than what I would have liked, and I wasn't even on the show.
Yeah.
It was just like I want him to be. I don't know if it's improv or whatever, but I want him to be right here.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want regular people like to be that close in real life, but like when I'm on stage, I want you to be here.
Yeah,
it just makes me feel better.
Similar, UCB East was that way, where it was I think it was a former movie theater. And it felt that way. It felt like you were watching a movie because you could be so far away from what's happening on stage that it's you might as well be watching TV.
Yeah. I fell asleep in that theater once during the Del Close Marathon one year. I went in there and I was just like,
Do you remember the show?
No. I just slept, and I remember I saw somebody from Fit in there, and I was like, yo, all right. Just fucking don't talk to me.
Many people fell asleep in that theater, especially during Del Close Marathon. That was a fun time.
It was good times. I couldn't. I wouldn't do it now if it was a thing. Like, even though I never really Del Close, like, you know, everybody Del Close, like, they're just like, we're just gonna stink for 3 days and we're just gonna. It's like, nah. Like, I went and did like a couple shows. If there was something I really wanted to see that was ticketed, I would do it. But I'm getting on the train back to Jersey just so I can, you know, re-energize for tomorrow.
Yeah, I never slept in the city either. I don't think I had. I could have stayed at like a friend's place.
Sure.
So I could have done it, but I didn't want to.
No.
I parked at Secaucus, took the train in.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, all right, we out.
I get there and order my little pizza when I get to the hotel room. Like, I'll see y'all niggas tomorrow.
Like, nah, I'm not. Nowadays, I'd if I guess I wouldn't do it. I know I would not do it again. But if I were to do another festival, then I'd get a hotel or I would stay with a friend. But
do you I like LA. I've been to LA for non-performance reasons a bunch of times, and I immediately loved it. I don't know if it was the fact that I've been romanticizing this place since I was a kid or what, but I was just like, this place. So I mean, I'm sure it has its sucky parts of it, like every city does, but like, I can fucking live here.
It's oh yeah, and you're coming to visit too.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get the whole spectrum. That's a good time to visit too when it's such a holiday town. People clear out for any occasion they get to clear out, go to Palm Springs, go to Joshua Tree, they leave.
Yeah.
So you're going to come in there, no traffic at all. But yeah, to your point, it's a gorgeous city, especially someone who grew up around tall buildings, where I'm driving on the 405, and I'm just like, look at the foothills, foothill mountains. What?
Casual foothill mountains.
Just mountains. People, oh, there's nothing on the 5. That drive is garbage. I'm like, you're driving on a mountainside.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean there's nothing?
It's
enjoy
garbage.
it. Like, enjoy it.
I'm sorry it's not the Pacific Ocean, which is another option you have. But
the one thing, and I think it has to do with, too, like, where I'm at. Like, every time I go, I stay in Glendale. So it's like, I've seen the differences in the areas. And one thing that stood out is, like, I notice, like, Jersey, we got a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans.
Yep.
Philly, a lot of Puerto Ricans. L.A., they got Armenians.
Yes.
So they're the Puerto Rican, they're
Yes.
West Coast Puerto Ricans.
Shout out to my mechanic.
Shout out to the Armenians. Like, them motherfuckers everywhere, man. I
Yeah.
love them niggas. They rude as fuck, but I love them.
It's interesting. There are almost no Haitians in Los Angeles.
I believe that.
I did a joke about being Haitian, and then I got off stage. This guy was like, "Yo, I'm Haitian too." And I was like, I haven't really, other than my family.
Yeah.
I have many Haitians. He was like, "Yeah, I know 5."
He's like, exactly.
He's like, "I know."
Here are their numbers.
I know 5. But Armenians, East Asia, heavily represented.
Filipino.
Randomly a lot of Australians,
Really?
because it's relative to them, it's close.
Yeah.
If you want to live in the United States, it's way closer to them
Closer to New York.
than New York. So yeah, it's a lot of Aussies.
A lot of Aussies, mate. Yeah. Well, you can't find. I have yet to find good Jamaican food or Jamaican food, period, in LA. So
Yeah,
if you find it before I do.
I don't. Yes, man. I was in New York. I'm back. I'm here now visiting for holiday break, and I was in New York just having Guyanese, Jamaican, Haitian. Oh man, embarrassment of riches.
So many flavors,
And it just isn't. It's not. I don't have a spot.
you can get in and out.
Yeah,
You can get
with like jerk animal style, Bumbleclot style.
Bumbleclot style. Can I get that Bumbleclot style? Can I get that blood clot style, please?
Blood clot.
Excuse me?
I want that Bumbleclot style. Okay, thank you. I'd like those fries. Well done in Bumbleclot. Yes, well done in Bumbleclot.
I just had like a large Ross. Excuse me, Ross.
Colbert Street Crip is crazy.
You know that's the name of this episode,
I
right?
have to try. Have to try that on stage immediately, expeditiously.
It's 1000% the name of this episode.
Colbert Street Crip is crazy.
Oh man, when Mars was on, that's what we talked about our love. Well, my love for watching Crip walking videos on Instagram. It's just like, you know how people watch like Cats or something like to boost their mood. I watch Crip walking videos because it makes me happy.
Wait, I saw an Instagram story where it was white people doing a Crip walk tutorial. Was that on your Instagram story?
It might have been.
It
Might have been.
White guy, white girl. It was like, okay, we're gonna learn how to
And
Crip walk.
heel toe. It's
And
like,
heel. And 1 and 2 and with the horns.
And 1 and 2 and rep your
Bring it around and hip and hip.
Oh, more white people embarrassing themselves. More. So, mentioned being Haitian. One constant that I know that tends to be a lot of Haitian folks grow up are big on church. In church, were you? In your youth?
we went to church. It was kind of interesting because my mom is Baptist, and the Haitian church writ large is Baptist. But I went to Catholic church, when I was in middle school, communion and confirmation age. And I'm pretty sure it's because Catholic Church was shorter. And it was closer to our home.
Yeah.
But my mom, like, because we would go to Haitian churches, like, before I committed to this Catholic church, we would go to Haitian churches, and it's like an all-day affair. It's like 9 to 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and my mom still goes. It's a community thing.
It is.
For my mom, and I can see why someone would want to, every week you go to this place, you get to see people who you otherwise wouldn't see.
Yeah.
When something bad happens to you, when someone passes away in your family, they're here to console you. So yeah, it was a very religious family where I don't know if it's worst of both worlds, having Catholic guilt, and then also like Baptists, like I don't.
Do Baptists have guilt?
I don't know what Baptists have guilt. They probably have. I feel like they get shamed.
Okay. I can deal. I don't know if I can deal with shame. I can deal with guilt.
Yeah.
Because that's all Jehovah's Witnesses deal out. But one thing I stopped after when I asked people about their upbringing in church, whatever. I used to complain about how much I used to have to go to church, but then when I hear stories of like it was an all-day affair, or there's like, you go to class in the morning and then you go to this part of the thing and you eat and then you go back at night. I was like, oh, I should shut up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But ours, like, we did maybe like it was once a day, 2 hours. Like,
that's a lot.
Not a day, not every day. I should rephrase, not every day. Mm-hmm. So it was on Sunday, from 9:30 to 11:30.
Okay, that's fine.
There was like a study of the Watchtower, and then there was a symposium, and then you would probably go out and service, knock on people's doors afterwards, and then on Monday night or Tuesday night, depending on who you were or where you were, we would have an hour's worth of Bible study that was in our house, which I hated because it always cut into Monday Night Raw. It's like, can we end this?
The first half or the second half of
first half?
That's important.
It's important.
They're setting up all the pieces.
Someone's
coming off of a pay-per-view. Why did he do that at Backlash?
I gotta know. I have to know.
Why did he do that?
I have to know. I gotta hear the theme music, man. And if it was annoying. And then there was Thursday, which was from 7:30 to 9, and that was it. And then there was the occasional convention, which was an 8-hour day, but it was maybe only like Friday. Sometimes it was Saturday and Sunday. Sometimes it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it was only once a year.
It's just not too bad.
It's not too bad when you think about folks are there for like 8 hours weekly, like in one shot. How do
they feel about premarital sex? And
no.
You don't do that?
No, I mean, we do. But like, they didn't, like, you're going to get like, I don't know if this is everywhere. I know that Catholics do this, but it's not necessarily confession. But like, let's just say somebody finds out, or you feel bad, you have to go like confess your sins to the body of elders, and it's like every congregation has X amount of elders, and there's usually they take rotating shifts. There's like 3 of them in a room, and like you have to like confess your shit. I did it once because I had to. My parents were going to threaten to kick me out if I didn't like go and confess myself. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. But it was this really awkward room where they ask you like really prodding and personal questions if they have nothing. Like they were kind of gross, the questions that they were asking me. Like I remember like, because Black Mom was going to go through your shit. Mm-hmm. So she found a bunch of like condoms in it. She was like, "Are you having?" And I was like, no, it's gonna work.
Just prepare.
She was like, "You gotta have it." And I was like, all right. So we went to the guys, and I remember this one dude. He would ask these questions, like they would like, "Oh, did you did you do oral sex? Did you do anal sex?" I'm like, "This is a bit much, but all right, I'll answer these questions." And then there was one guy I remember. He was like, "All right, so do you remember what color her underwear was?" I was like, "Hey!" Whoa. And even the other two looked like,
"Whoa,
hey man,
what is this about?"
Hey man, what? let's and they kind of
Yeah.
moved on, and then he had another. I don't remember what it was, but he had another weird one later, and I just was looking at him like, bro,
Oh my goodness.
that has nothing to do with anything. So like, it's frowned upon. Like you can get excommunicated. I had a friend who was goodly enough to, well, not goodly, like had the wherewithal to know that he had an addiction. And he was like, I gotta get help for this, or otherwise it's gonna turn my life down a weird path. Mm-hmm. And he went for help, and they did everything but help, and they kicked him out. It's not funny, but like, it's just like, damn.
I forgot that it's one of the religions that you can get booted from.
Hell yeah.
So I have a question about the elders.
Mm-hmm.
An elder has to be someone who has like a clerical relationship, is like a cleric or is like a priest, or can anyone who is old and is in the church, can they be considered an elder?
No. You have to meet. You can only be a man, first of all.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have to at least be over 18. So that it could.
Come on now. That's not old.
It's just the thing that it's such a weird title.
I don't like it anymore.
I
kind of liked it at first.
I like the fact that you liked it at first.
I liked it at first.
I had a homeboy who was really like straight and narrow in it at the time, and he was like an elder when he was like 22. So it's like you got this 22. Let's imagine some old head is like, I'm having problems with something, and they come in there.
22-year-old. What does he know?
And he just has to refer to like the Bible and like literature written by the grouping of people who writes literature as like a reference guy, because he has no life experience.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit.
I will say my dad was one for a while, off and on, because your boy was a bad influence in the church. And he would come home from those meetings, and he wasn't a drinker, but like if there was a bottle in front, he was like, I hate this.
Oh yeah, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it because he's a nice guy, and he's got to like
passing judgment.
There's two other dudes who probably are fire and brimstone, and he's just like, hey, this is just a person. Like,
yeah, maybe it's just a kid.
Right. It's just like you're changing the trajectory of someone's life potentially. But
I definitely felt that way. I mean, like, yeah, the guilt around like my own body, it extended years and years into the future. From being in the Catholic Church. I mean, like, woof. Yeah. It was I would not. Yeah, it's a situation where if I were to have kids, I would not have them in the church, and it would be a huge sticking point. It would be huge, and you're on the apps and you see someone who's just like, I'm a Christian. I'm like, respect.
Yeah. Respect you.
Absolute respect.
Yep.
Truly, some of my best friends are Christians.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's going to be a conversation that comes up
often
down the road.
Often.
Which is like, I do not want to raise organized religious children, and I think a lot of people do, but I understand the community element of it, and I think we're kind of in America we're pretty hard up for communal activities.
Yeah.
And like we're seeing CrossFit take over. We're seeing group fitness. We're seeing
improv classes,
improv comedy. Yeah, clowning.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could raise if I was to raise a kid. I don't think it's up to you. Like, but I'm not gonna. It's not gonna really be here. Like I'll have like a Bible in the house as like a reference because it's a book. Like if you want to access it, it's a book but you should know that this is probably like. Don't take it. It's a book.
Yeah, they got parables in here. Yeah. Some interesting lessons.
It's a book. It's no different than Goosebumps. You know what I mean? Like, respectfully, in my house.
R.L. Stein's Genesis.
I I will, however, when I am a homeowner, I do want to have like a velvet black Jesus somewhere in the house, like a paint. I would love nothing other than to have that. Just
Why not?
why not? Like, why not, man?
I'll have some like Renaissance paintings that are inspired by religious imagery. Like I'll have some of that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, have that, and then immediately next to it, the naked lady from the Outcast CD from 18 Aliens. And stuff. That's my vibe. If you were to summarize my vibe as my decor, it's velvet black Jesus painting, and then the cover of the Outcast CD with the naked chick on it. So you have a theory that you brought in.
Yeah, I got my theory ready, and so, since 2019, I have gotten into golf, and then during the pandemic, I kind of got real into it. I think this year is the year that I got good, consistently good. My bad shots don't ruin my score. I can recover from bad shots. And so here's my theory. I think that golf is one of the primary distractors of the wealthy and keeps them from enacting further harm on the working class. Malcolm Gladwell did a podcast about how much he hates golf, and he runs the numbers on, like, he uses a golf. There's like an app where you can input your scores into, which even that is like a sliver of the people who actually golf. But just using that app, he generates all this data about CEOs and how much time they just log into the app, much less the times where they play and they don't log in. Mm-hmm. And he goes like, yeah, CEOs are spending dozens of hours. And I'm just like, what do you want them at Halliburton? Where are they a bigger threat? The 17th hole? Or in the boardroom?
Yeah.
They can spend a day, they can go on month-long trips as far as I care.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep them there.
Keep them out of the boardroom making these weird decisions that affect everybody.
Keep them distracted. Let's keep all the projects that are gonna take our jobs. Let's postpone Chat GPT 7. Let's postpone all of that. Get them a hobby and keep them preoccupied. That's what I say.
Dang, I like that theory.
That's my theory.
I like that because I just read, whether I didn't fact check this at all, but did Jeff Bezos put a clock in a mountain?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he got a huge clock. And him and his fiance were just did like a photo shoot on it.
It's like,
that's the shit I'm talking about, though. No respect to Jeff Bezos. However, do that instead of...
Well, yeah.
I guess he could do... The sad thing is he could do both.
Yeah.
The sad thing is he could do plenty of exploiting and also do stupid things like buy a giant clock and put it in Wyoming somewhere. But what I'm trying to do is 90% clock, 10% running the business.
Yes.
And his kooky hair braid ideas. Like, we gotta just... Yeah, like... I like, too, he's like... when he got divorced and he was a bachelor for like that year and a half, I'm just like, yeah, spend your time dating, like just
be on
go
Raya,
on dates,
like
get on Raya. Like, we need all of your energy focused on extracurriculars.
Yes, because maybe if you're in a good mood, you'd be like, you know what, maybe I should pay more.
Oh, what they want to go on strike? Don't let them strike. Just give them. Just give them their demands. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. We got to get the clock. We got to get the clock from Copenhagen to Washington State.
Like, if that's what you want to do with your money as a a potential supervillain, then yes, I'm all for that. Like, you're not oppressing anybody. that I know of, on paper at least. It could have used slave labor to get it in there. I don't know, but but yeah, I like that theory. I like that theory a lot because like I don't know. I worked in an Amazon warehouse once in college, and this was pre anybody really caring about Amazon. And man, I almost died is a stretch, but I feel like I almost had a heart attack in there because I was trying to like I didn't do shit at that job. Like I was a college kid. I didn't really have it. This wasn't my livelihood. Mm-hmm. So I remember I used to lie a lot at that job. Like they used to give extra. We had 2 Muslim cats that worked there. There was one a black dude and there was this white dude with red hair, which I thought very funny. And they got extra breaks to pray. So I was like, I'm with them. And I wouldn't go. I claimed as long as I get extra breaks. And I would just go in the bathroom and sleep in the stall until somebody blew it up. They'd be like, all right,
this is gross. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
But
like there was one time where I was like, okay, like I am about to legitimately lose this job and I do need to buy some stuff for school. So let me just focus up. And I remember I was like working out a lot at the time, and I was taking something it's still on the market, but it doesn't have the bad ingredient.
Ephedrine.
I was taking
ephedrine?
Yeah, I was taking hydroxycut that had ephedrine in it.
Okay.
And that was before anybody knew that it could, explode your heart. And I took some, and I was like killing it that day. Mm-hmm. It was like James was really hitting his numbers, and I remember taking a break at the water fountain. I remember my heart was like,
oh my goodness.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should go home. And I told my mom, who worked in healthcare, and she was like, I should hit you, but your heart would explode. Maybe let's.
Did your mom know that ephedrine was in it?
She didn't. I don't think it was common knowledge that ephedrine. And then when she found out, she was like, "Yeah, stop taking this, and also just stop working here. We'll find you something else. Like you're 21 or 19 or whatever the fuck I was."
Yeah, you want the job in your 20s. You want the job with the least amount of adult supervision mm-hmm. and brain power. Mm-hmm. That's where it's like, young people where they're at ice cream shops.
Yeah,
they're just
Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A. They don't bother us.
Yeah.
We do our thing. It's a consistent paycheck. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't want to start my career. I don't want to intern for someone. Get this guy his coffee, and then if you mess up the order, people yell at you. I was like, no, I don't want no steaks. I don't want no steaks. But that's at 20 years old.
That's how you make it.
That is how you make it.
That's how you become Farnsworth Bentley.
Oh my God, from G's to J's.
Poor Farnsworth Bentley. Like he's gonna God forbid anybody have to take the stand against Puffy. The stories that man
pulls out his umbrella,
floats in.
Jury, I'd like to call my next witness to the stand. All right, you may approach.
Like Princess Peach in the Mario Brothers. And then he proceeds to tell this insane tale of just. Ugh.
I want to know what Farnsworth knows.
He knows some dark shit. Him and Mace, they know some shit. That's why Puffy don't fuck with Mace. He's like, Mace can end this.
Yes. Yeah, if he wanted to.
You just leave him on his little podcast telling Paul's jokes. We'll leave him alone.
Yeah, man, what a 2023 they've had.
I didn't see that coming. Did you?
See that coming at all.
I thought I was doing little pause jokes around here, just and it was like, James, that's a goofy bit. And I was like, I know it's stupid. And then here they come.
Yeah,
and they're just like, nah, we've never stopped doing this for real.
No, we're mid 40s. We're pausing into our mid 40s,
and we mean it, and B,
it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
We're not just doing this because it's a cringe bit. It's a bit that we are committed to. And also, we have O.J. Simpson as our third mic sometimes.
Wait, OJ's on the show?
It's like, guys,
Oh my goodness.
bravo.
Oh,
But they
man.
talk football or sports. They have like a girl there that was like their stat person, and then they'll bring him in as the fourth mic. It's just like juice. And it's like, holy shit, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
My goodness.
That one took you out.
Man. That's just disappointing. That's just disappointing. Man.
Ron Metellus not here for the juice.
I'm not amused. It actually bothered me. It's interesting because we're going through a somewhat similar thing with George Santos as he becomes this caricature figure. But I remember when O.J. Simpson joined Twitter, and all of a sudden my friends were retweeting his video message. His first tweet was a video, and it's like, "It's me, the juice." Da, 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 da. I'm
real
like,
old guy cringy.
I'm like, he killed someone?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
They're just like, isn't it crazy that he's on Twitter? I'm like, I guess. But can you not put this murderer on my feed? Thanks.
Kevin May said, nah. We're going to make him an active part of your life.
No. He's paid his debt to society. And yeah, now George Santos, we're going through a similar thing of just like, oh, okay, I guess you can lie and cheat and have terrible views, but then you reach this kind of like American fame where you're just like, yeah, you just become this cartoon character.
Yeah. Like Alex Jones. It's like,
yes,
like,
yeah.
Like he made like, before he like kind of fell off of the map, he made like a month or two long podcast to run with other like. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, the Justice League. You join a Justice League. That's when Kanye when he had Kanye on, and
it was him.
When he had Kanye on
yeah.
and he had to cut the commercial break because he was like, oh no, no, you giving up the game right now. You giving up the recipes right now. You say the quiet part loud. Shout out. I do want to say, let's talk about Ye for a little bit, because I do feel like I turned out pretty good for someone who had Kanye as a role model. Like, yeah. I made it pretty far. I think my views are pretty. They're pretty good relative to the views that I internalized growing up. Because if you go back, you start to see the bread trail.
All right, what was your first crumb that you can remember?
Oh, there's like the 15-minute outro on College Dropout.
Yeah,
where he's just like,
he's just talking.
He's just talking. He's like, I couldn't go. I wanted to be backstage at Jay-Z's farewell tour, and I couldn't get backstage. And I'm like, all right, you're just like, you guys aren't really that close at that time,
right?
And he's just like, it's the level of hubris relative to his skills, because as like a rapper, he was like adequate. It's fine, like that. The mixtape era, pre Dropout mixtape era, Kanye is like fine, like. Mayonnaise colored Benz, I push Miracle Whips is like fine. Mm-hmm. It's like a fine. You're not Rakim. It's not Rakim. It's not like Rock Marcy. Right, it's cool. It's cool. But it's like the level of what he thought he was just like, I was so much better than everybody else. But it's the delusions of grandeur element of it all, where I'm just like, I think for a lot of like kids, especially struggling to find self-esteem, I think that's like really intoxicating to have. Mm-hmm. Someone who's like so confident, but the confidence, when you start to peel back the onion, it's a confidence that's like very like thin.
Yeah.
it's generated from thinking you're better than people, but they just have to see.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna see one day.
I'm gonna turn them.
Okay. This is like, yeah, even like the Yeezus press tour, which is my favorite of his press tours, where it's like, I am Walt Disney, Steve Jobs.
Up until that point, I was like, all right, let's talk about it. Let's hear it out. Like,
I like some of the Gaga songs. What does she know about cameras? I think about that.
About Polaroid.
I think about that. I think about that all the time. Anytime I'm psyched, it's like lives rent free land. Where it's like someone will be like, "Do you want to? Do you want to see? Dua Lipa in concert?" Like, I like some of the Dua Lipa songs, but I don't really want to see. I don't really want to see her. No hatred, no hate. I like some of the songs. I don't want to see her in concert. No, thank you. But yeah, it's that kind of confidence. It's just like, I gotta prove everybody wrong. When it's what really you have to accept that you're gonna connect and reach some people. Be grateful for them, foster those relationships as best as you can, and accept that not everyone is going to like you. No. Even if you put out a product that's awesome. There are rappers who I think, and musicians who have like a worldview that I think is a lot more centered and is like, oh, okay, this is something that I can actually like apply in my day-to-day life. Because what happens is when you hit that first stumbling block, to bring it back to what we were talking about the writer's room, all of a sudden you're just like, I'm here on my own skill, like, da-da-da-da, like, I walk in a building like I'm young, I'm special. Shout out to Kodak. I walk in the building like I'm young and I'm clever.
I love Kodak.
This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. When the vulture cry. Zooted out my mind, zooted out my mind. I'm zooted out my body.
My favorite Kodak is when he's wearing. Apparently he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. He's got the full outfit on, and he's like, I got my jersey on. I got my Jesus. I prayed to my Jesus.
He's got his Jesus beats.
I was like, yo, this thing is hilarious. I prayed to my Jesus.
I hope so. Can you clip that out for me?
Yes.
I use that GIF all the time.
Yes.
No, to bring it back, it's like, all right, so maybe you are talented. Great. I think a lot of people are. But then when you get into a room or situation where that is not enough, when it's like, dang, like I got here off talent, which you also got like a lot of help and like community and all that.
Absolutely.
But of course, it's like in your head, you're just like, but you know how I do.
Right.
I come in the building, I'm slick. I got jokes though. He funny though. You gotta listen to him, but he funny though. So you come into the building like, all right, I have all this ability, but then you hit him an immovable object. And you have to be able, like, you're gonna suffer if you can't adapt in that situation. That's your only option, is you're up here or you're suffering, because they can't see it. They don't see it. Maybe they can't. Maybe they can. But you have to be able to accept that. You won't. I mean, you won't.
You absolutely will not accept it until everybody loves him. It's not gonna happen.
It just won't. No. It won't. Yeah.
Nah. Not everybody's gonna love every Yeezy. You know?
No, some of them are gonna be for some people that they want that like neon green, like da-da-da-da. It's gonna look great on them. Yeah. And some of them it's gonna be like, nah, I want like just a black sneaker. Yeah, like nothing too crazy.
Not everybody's like that one, the main, what is it? The 350, the one that looks like a bag.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like if you're from Russia, or if you were like really like tracksuits, they're for you, but they're not for everybody's foot,
brother. Have you ever, brother? We're walking. Nice guys such as us. Nice guys such as us. Not supposed to wear these shoes.
Look at us, huh? Look at these. Huh?
A guy like us. Not supposed to be in a shoe like this. I'm getting the fit off.
You like these, huh? You like these? I picked them up. Can you believe $225 for these? $225 for these, brothers? You believe that?
Come with the Moscow Yeezys, the St. Petersburg Yeezys. Step in the Kremlin, dripping in the Kremlin. Tripping in the Kremlin. They not ready for this. They not ready for this when I walk into the Kremlin with the Yeezys with the drip.
Dripping in the Kremlin. Jesus
Christ. But yeah, it's that level of acceptance, which it's a process that I'm still learning. Yeah. But it wasn't until honestly quite recently that I've just been like, oh, it's not just like about the world being like exposed to your overwhelming shining talent. Like there's a lot of people just not going to like it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what, like, when I started stand up and right before the pandemic, that I realized that pretty quickly.
It sucks in stand up.
It's like, oh yeah. Like some of y'all might not. These biracial jokes might not be for everybody.
Yeah, because everyone comes into the room with their own set of experiences too, and so like that's off of rip where you're just like, oh, some of y'all are gonna get it, some of y'all are gonna get it instantaneously. Others will be able to pick it up along the way, and others still will not get it, not want to get it, and if you having fun on stage is contingent on 90, 95, 99% approval, it's like you're not going to have fun. No. And I've seen every number, the richest comedians, most successful comedians, I've watched, just look at the crowd, not everyone is laughing.
Yeah.
Not everyone is laughing all the time. Right. Ever. Right. If you were to take a screenshot.
Right.
Maybe a couple of jokes, maybe like one or two a night, where everyone, but it's so rare that everyone is like, that is the one. You're playing a numbers game. You're playing like a probability game.
Yeah. Like I would, if I relied on that, like I don't know if this is just me in my brain or if it was just improv being a lot of silence as it is and having done that before stand up, but like I could give a fuck less about like if the audience likes everything.
That's
like,
man, I struggle with that.
I could give a fuck. And I hear these stories about like oh, you know, when Patrice was alive, he, you know, if there was one person he would focus in. I'm like, I don't have that energy. Like I gotta move on. Like I gotta.
You're not outwardly antagonistic.
No. I find it very funny when people are, but I was like, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I might. Even if I do say something, I'll just say it in passing and just hope that maybe, you know, a little bit of playfulness will wake you up a little bit. But if it doesn't, all right. You came out to not have a good time or you don't like me. Yeah. Either way, all right.
What am I, too? What am I? If I'm on a showcase, what am I, 5% of the show?
Right.
How much of the show can I even mess up?
Right. Let me ask you this question. Have you done mushrooms before? Have you done mushrooms before?
I have done mushrooms.
Because this, what we're talking about is very much the brain of someone who's done mushrooms a few times.
It was huge. I did mushrooms in... I'm not going to say one, but...
Yeah. No need. I'm
not going to say one.
It was that...
I'm not going to say one, but it was hugely formative when I did it because it showed me neutrality for the first time. Mm-hmm. And it showed me... I didn't know the phrase catastrophic thinking at the time, but it's like when you're thinking about the future and your default is the worst potential scenario, someone's not texting you back, oh, they hate you.
Right.
You know?
Right. They're actively hating you.
Oh, they never want to talk to me again. Yep. Which I just thought was thinking.
Oh, brother, yes.
I was under the impression that was thinking, and then when I started doing shrooms and like I started seeing positive outcomes. Mm-hmm. I was walking out of my apartment vestibule. Someone's walking in. We're gonna cross paths. I'm thinking, oh, I just wave, slide right by. Whereas before, I'm just like, oh, we're gonna bump into each other. There's like this white lady is in the vestibule. Like, I'm just like I'm just constantly overthinking. You can call it, but just catastrophizing. Then all of a sudden, I start microdosing, and I'm just like, I'm driving, I'm in the fast lane. Someone's behind me. There's nothing I could do for him.
Yeah.
You're tailgating me. It's like, you'll find a way.
Yeah. I believe in you. I believe in you.
There's nothing I can do. Like, I'm not going to drive fast. I'm not going to drive slower. I'm not going to, I'm not going to, dig.
Brake check.
Yeah. I'm not going to dig my heels in. I'll show you.
Right.
It's like, look, eventually you'll get tired of me being slow.
Yep.
You'll find a way around, and we'll both get to where we need to go.
Yeah. Hopefully safely.
Hopefully we all get there. We all get there safely. But it's that ego death.
Yeah.
It's the ego death of just like, oh, it's just not all about like everything is like no one is all out to get you. Mm-hmm. Not everyone is out to get you, I should say. And it was a huge it like broke my brain open.
Yeah, I can tell because the way we were talking about just comedy and then I was like, oh, he's taking mushrooms. Like the only a comedian who's taking mushrooms enough to be like, you know what? I don't need all the room. That's fine.
I don't need them. I did a show yesterday, new material show. So I'm already like, my expectations are already bringing them down a level, and I'm just like, it went. What I would call a soft kill, but I was like. I got what I needed. Yeah. Like, and it's okay. It's okay that like other people did better than me, and it's like I'm not just like doing that math. Like, oh well, I guess I did third best, which right. But they, there's an all white audience, so it's a bit easier for him because he doesn't have to like. I don't. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I had a good time. I got what I needed out of it, and the people who really liked it, awesome, and the people who didn't like it. They'll get over it. Yeah. And on the flip side too, now, James, I've gotten to a place now where it's like I can do this on other people's shows. I'm not quite there yet with my own show, but like I went to like a really bad like fringe show, where it's like an artist is like they do all this research and stuff and they cast all their friends and the set is everything, but they've only like done it one time and like people couldn't really rehearse it and they're on book. Terrible show, awful show, and I got back and I was just like, I'm really glad I went to that show because now I can tell people like, oh, you won't believe, you won't believe how bad this show was. You want to see? Yeah, it was just like that. It was It was that. It was like that, but for an hour and a half. And then they're just like, oh my god. My God, you went to a show. I'm like, yeah, I went to a show that bad. Like, even a bad show is a gift because the people who leave that show could talk about like, oh man, that was so bad. And from a performer's perspective, I can be like, why? Now I won't do that. Yeah, disclaimer reference. I'm not gonna. Now I know what not to do ever. Like that's a gift. Now if The goal now is I have a terrible show, and I'm like, I gave them a gift. They get to go home. Honey, you won't believe this. Ron from Z-Way. I went to his show. It was terrible.
You remember Barley from Netflix? I think you should leave.
You remember the uncredited guest star on the third season of I Think You Should Leave? I tell you what. It was nothing like that show. It really showed none of the comedic wit and audacious absurdism of that show. It makes you wonder how he got on the show to begin with. It was awful. And then they just like, if they ever see me again, they're just like, oh yeah, it's the guy. This is terrible.
It's like, is that?
Because we all know there are comedians who, there are comedians who their out-of-pocketness is the basis for friendships all around the scene. Where you just like send a tweet is like, can you believe she? Yeah. Can you believe?
Yeah.
She's beefing with Ellen. It's like, oh no. There they go. There they go. And it's like, thank God for their outlet, like their craziness, because then that means like my friendship is just gets to be stronger. That's the real woo-woo shroom take. I'm not quite there yet.
Right.
But I think give it a couple of years.
Run away up
Give
that
it a
mountain.
couple of years. Give it a couple. When we start transitioning from micro to macro,
Ooh.
that's
We're going full Rick Rubin at that point. It was just long beards and white pants.
you're white, all white, flowy gown.
Just like you're in a hospital uniform. Just,
Yes. Unleash the flutes. Unleash the flutes. I brought the flutes on him, Guru.
I love it. I love unleashing the flutes, Guru.
I brought the flutes this time.
It's like, no, actually, Guru brought the flutes, Jay. You didn't bring them. Give Guru his credit. He unleashed them.
I brought the flutes. As though he's playing them, or as though like his buddies. It's like I brought a bunch of flutists.
Right, I've got my team of flautists. It's like, no, these are wave files that Guru brought on a hard drive.
Yeah, from an Italian symphony, a dead Italian symphony. For being quite honest,
Give Guru his just due.
oh my goodness,
Oh man, Ron, this was fun. This was fun, but this was a long one. I like it.
yeah, I had a lot of fun as well, man. Thanks for having me. I Hove sampling Dynasty of Gold. Certain things, man. Certain things that just stick with you. That's what I'm trying to do with my comedy now, is like bring those things, and like the parts of the album where you're just like, damn, this always makes me laugh, or like always pops out to me, and like trying to like bring that into a stage, like bring that on stage.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I had that thought last night when I was watching old wrestling, and there was a short window of one night where Stone Cold Steve Austin in 1998 became a corporate yes man for one episode, and then while he came out in the suit, he was Mr. McMahon's shining prize, and Vince McMahon looked down, and he said, "I love your outfit, you got everything going on." He's like, "But where are the Gucci shoes?" And that
the Texas boots.
Yeah, the boots are, and that's what I want. That line that's what I want to.
Where are the Gucci boots?
Where are the Gucci shoes? Hell yeah, Ron!
You could do that verbatim and get a laugh. And now I'm bringing my assistant. Like you could like a G's the Gentleman. You could bring out like,
I remember that.
I'm doing I'm a big brother, so I'm gonna bring out my comedy assistant. He's had a troubled life, and he comes out, he's got like wearing like ill-fitting suit,
right? You got
bunch of butters. He's wearing the butters,
laced up,
real
tight. Oh man, hell yeah, Ron!
Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, man! You wanna promote anything? Share any socials?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my Instagram popping.
Hell yeah.
Ronald Metellus _ but Ronald Metellus should do the trick. Follow me on Instagram. I'm going to start posting. I'm not going to guarantee anything on the air, actually. I caught myself. I will make no guarantees. It's already fine. I think the stories are lit.
If your stories are lit, that's the gateway into the post.
Until you get to the grid. Mm-hmm. The grid is, I'm not going to say what's going to be on the grid. Mm-hmm. It's going to be funny. It's going to be interesting. And, 2024, I feel like I'm going to hit it harder. Because why not?
Why not? What else is there to do besides hit it hard?
Hey yo!
Hey yo!
Not James. That was crazy.
That's crazy, yo.
You said, what else is there to do?
Yo.
But hit it hard, son.
Hey.
Son.
Yo.
Oh, we gotta slow that down.
Oh shit! I don't have anything. I'm taking it a little easy into the new year, but you can always subscribe to here on this channel, and you can also go to patreon.com/Critical James Theory for videos, behind the scenes stuff sometimes that I post. I'm actually starting to post old YouTube videos that I never uploaded.
Ooh.
Because there was this, my cousin is a popular YouTuber who makes his living on there, like doing reaction videos.
What did he react to?
He just was like, yo, you should try it. And I tried it, and I felt like I was like, this is the worst thing.
Because you're alone?
Yeah, I'm just like, I didn't, it just felt so disingenuous, and I was just like, I can't. So there's a bunch of embarrassing videos that I'm posting up that are me reacting to things, and it is cringy. So if you want to see that.
Damn, you're posting cringe on Maine?
I'm posting, well, you got to pay at least $5.
Okay, I'll subscribe.
Yeah, you gotta pay $5. You gotta at least give me the $5 and you can see the cringe.
in racial forums, posting cringe. In racial group chats, posting cringe.
Yo, Doja Cat, if you listening, you know what I mean.
Hey, I saw you in LA. You rocked it. You rocked it.
You know, that Satan shit don't make me uncomfortable. Is what I'm saying.
Hey, you got two atheists on the podcast.
Oh yeah, shout out to Doja Cat. And like I like to end every show in the words of Brandon Mitchell. Bye, niggas.
Look at the Critical James Theory. Hit the Critical James Theory, yeah. Just start look at the Critical James Theory, yeah. Hit the Critical James Theory, yo. Just start look at the Critical James Theory, yeah.